week. The NFL upheld Myles Garrett's indefinite suspension yesterday, but that certainly was not the only news coming out of the appeal hearing. Garrett reportedly told the board Mason Rudolph directed a racial slur at him during last week's incident.
Y'all caught that, right? Directed a racial slur at her. She said that first. To tell you the truth, you got it right the first time. It's a her.
Rudolph strongly denies that allegation. The NFL says, quote, they have found no such evidence of Garrett's accusations. For his part, Myles Garrett released a statement on Twitter last night saying, I was assured that the hearing was space that afforded the opportunity to speak openly and...
So it's a safe space. Oh my God. Okay.
honestly about the incident that led to my suspension. This was not meant for public dissemination, nor was it a convenient attempt to justify my actions or
So he didn't want it out in the public. He didn't want the information to be made public. Why not? Why not? Why not? You're calling somebody out. This is just, let's keep going.
Or my image in the eyes of those I disappointed. I know what I heard. Whether my opponent's comment was born out of frustration or ignorance, I cannot say. But his actions do not excuse my lack of restraint in the moment, and I truly regret the impact this has had on the league, the Browns, and our devoted fans. Tough situation. Shannon, what's your reaction to Myles Garrett's accusations?
I'm surprised that he said this, and it seems like to me he's doubling down on it. Now, Skip, I said after the game, his reaction led you to believe that Mason Rudolph said something.
I agree.
I said, did he utter the magic word? Do we all know what the magic word is?
There's no fucking magic word. Abracadabra. You know, there's no damn magic word. Nigger does not hold any fucking power. I keep saying this in numerous of my videos. I grew up in the South. I grew up with the Klan living right across the fucking street. I got called that word all the time, but the word means ignorant. That is the definition of the fucking word. It means an ignorant person. My intelligence, the grades I made in school, especially when it dealt with, language, English, any of that, I aced all of that shit. Every single bit of it. That word holds no power. It holds no power because no words hold any power. I don't care if it is a word that is invented to mean what that word is supposed to mean. Words hold no power. As I said in a video just the other day, sticks and stones, bitches, sticks and stones. What? Oh my God. Shannon Sharpe is not that much younger than me. So for him to be saying something so ignorant, so stupid, makes no sense. Words hold no power whatsoever. They hold no power. It's just a fucking word. I'm sick and tired of you young people who didn't live through anything. Y'all haven't lived through the shit that just in my time or my parents' time or my grandparents' time, or you didn't live through anything. For you to be having this attitude like that word is supposed to mean something to you. I lived through that time. The tail end of it, I lived through that time, and that word holds no power. My mom definitely lived through it, and it held no power for her. My grandmother lived through it, held no power for her either. It's just a fucking word. We have been, when I was a kid, in the country, visiting my grandparents, being at a place, as I said, this is the South where the sheriff's white, obviously racist, everything else, and being called boy and all that other stuff. And nope, sucked it up and moved on because it's just a word. That's what I always got told. I grew up in the areas where people could say it, and get away with it. The cops, everybody was taught that it holds no power. This was in an environment where it should have affected me, should have affected my parents, my grandparents, all of that. It didn't. How do you people who are growing through none of the shit that we went through, how the fuck does it hold power for you? You don't. I've compared stories over and over and over to people my age, people younger. And none of those people have come close to the stories I have. So it's like, if you didn't even live through any of the shit that I lived through, how the hell does this word hold power over you? You didn't go through what I did. Shannon Sharpe, you are a dumb ass ignorant, and the word ignorant definitely fits with you. So I can definitely call you the N-word, because the definition of that word means ignorant. And in this case, you're obviously fucking ignorant.
Under that. So, and I'm
Now, here's to what he mentioned. They have those boom mic things pointed the whole damn time. That's how we have those NFL game, they're mic'd up, or, how they come up at the end of the season or whatever, in the off season, of stuff that was said, obviously, especially with what was happening at the time, the dude with the boom mic, or people with them, definitely turned and pointed their mics there. There were also other people right there trying to pull them apart. Did any of them come forward and say, yeah, we heard it? Any of them come forward and say anything? He say anything during the scuffle? He called me the N-word. He called me the N-word. No, he didn't even say it at the press conference afterwards. He didn't say it this entire week until all of a sudden going into this hearing, and now all of a sudden he says, yeah, he called me the N-word. Bullshit. Straight up bullshit.
Okay, if he did, there's an opportunity at this press conference. Because let me tell you what would have happened if it had been me. I said, oh, it's not over. You said the N-word, and every time I see you, I'm gonna get you. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't have got me up.
Let's keep going. Hold on.
Skip. It took an act of God and 10,000 soldiers.
I agree.
God he only works on Sundays, I think, on most occasions, because the church, and there weren't 10,000 soldiers there. I was still been on. I said, Mason, you got off lucky, bro, because 3 of your teammates got me up off you. I'd have still been pumping. And I'd been.
So you're literally saying that because of a word, you're spoiled, stupid ass, ignorant, fucking millionaire. You're gonna say that because of a word, you do realize, well, I love when people say, well, it's a sport, so you don't, no. You don't get to assault me. We do have freedom of speech in this country, but we do not have freedom of assault. You're literally saying right now, you would have kept assaulting, that's the word, assaulting him if he had called you that word. So you would have broken the law, then thinking you're going to get a pass because of a fucking word. Again, the word definitely means something towards you over the definition of the word that means ignorant. Definitely points to you. I have been in situations where I could whip the person's ass and call that word and laugh in their faces. I'm an educated person and I'm going, the word means ignorant. And I guarantee you my intelligence and my wisdom way higher than yours. My knowledge way higher than yours. So not an ignorant person. So that word holds no power to me. Well, that's not what I intended it for. I don't care what you intended it for. That's what it says in the Webster's dictionary. That's what the definition is. It holds no power. You could say whatever the hell you could say, and I'm going to say whatever the hell I'm going to say back to you. It's just words. Ooh. Now you try actually hitting me, now I'm going to fuck you up. Hey, that is what you do. At that point, it's self-defense. But calling somebody a nigger and getting offended by it to where you're going to assault them, does not get you out of. What is with black people thinking that you can get out of a fucking assault because somebody called you the N-word? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. See, that word definitely means something to you and anybody that goes along with any of the bullshit that you're saying. Because obviously you are fucking ignorant. And the word definitely means something to you. It's attached. If you want to look up the word nigger, you want to look up the word ignorant, I hate to tell you, Shannon, I'm looking right at you because it defines you. You're saying that you're going to assault somebody because they called you the N-word. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to sit up here like a whiny bitch. Oh my God, it hurt my feelings. See, I want an excuse. I need to get a pass because, you know, he assaulted me with his words. What is with these SJWs, these feminists? It's funny because I watch all these videos. They're screaming at people, calling them the most like racial words. They're calling them, I mean, Uncle Tom to me should just be as much of a racial slur as the N-word. But you don't see anybody who gets called an Uncle Tom like me, which is not a negative word to me either. So you don't see anybody on the side, this side, getting upset over words. We smile at you, we laugh at you. Control, self-control. When we get called those words or whatever, all we ever do is just laugh in your face. That's all we ever do. Any of you weak ass leftists, stupid ass soy boys. And you know what, Shannon? Just because you got muscles doesn't mean you're not a fucking soy boy. If you're affected up here and in here over a damn word, you're just as much as a weak ass piece of shit as any of those 100-pound weakling soy boys. Because you're letting a word, a fucking word, affect you.
And when we get to the press conference, Skip, like he said, I said he called me the N-word. That's why y'all think I reacted like that out of what? Just because he tried to take my helmet off? No, he called me the N-word, and that's why I reacted the way I did.
Yeah.
Now, Skip,
so now then he's going to come back with, well, I'm not saying it's justifiable. You just literally just said it was justifiable.
And I would have excused, but I would have understood it.
Mm-hmm. You just went through a whole spiel saying you would have felt that you were justified in beating up somebody for calling you the N-word, and then now coming back saying that doesn't excuse my action. Oh my God. Again, the N-word definitely fits you, Shannon, because you are straight up ignorant.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, Mason Rudolph said that to him. Oh, he had to be as long as Myles Garrett is suspended, Mason Rudolph should be met with the same type of punishment. Sure. Period. Mm-hmm. NFL, I'm very disappointed in you. And you wonder why players don't trust you. Why would you ever let this get out? Because you told them.
See what I mean? He is literally surrounded by people the whole time in a loud ass stadium. So it's not like he fucking whispered it. And the two players that are next to him are also on his team. The quarterback who supposedly said it are black. In a loud stadium. So obviously he didn't whisper it. So it meant that he had to have said it loud enough. Well, I'm just curious then, why didn't they hear it? Why didn't the referee hear it? They're all standing right there. As I said, it's not like he whispered it in his ear in a loud, crowded ass stadium. So why did nobody else hear it? Why didn't he say he called me the N-word? Why didn't he say that? No. If he was that fired up over the word, he would have said it in the moment. But he didn't. He didn't even say it in the press conference afterward. It's all a lie. It's all bullshit. It's just another fake ass story of these fake ass blacks thinking that they're just going to get away with shit after the fact, pulling out the race card. I grew up in the 70s, and I don't see me pulling out the fucking race card. No, my race doesn't, it has never defined me. Sure as hell, I'm not going to listen to some dumbass who's younger than me and some spoiled ass fucking millionaire.
Myles Garrett did not tell anyone. Myles Garrett representative did not tell anyone. Skip, why would you do this? These are supposed to be in confidentiality. I'm supposed to be able to go in there and have a conversation, Skip, and whatever's said stays there.
And yet ESPN, soon after this proceeding, reported that
that was being said. Now, Myles, I really hope that this can be proven. Because I would be so very disappointed in you. You put this information out there about this young man and not to be true. Because what you're trying to do is cover you.
Every story that has ever come out. The girl who said that her in Virginia, which I'm you know what, not surprised, but highly disappointed because it's my home state. The girl that said that she got attacked and held down, her braids cut off, the Jussie Smollett case, all of that crap. Every single one of these damn stories that have come out have all been fake. Every single one. This one is fake too. Again, why didn't he say it? Why didn't his press person say it? Why didn't he say it in the interview? Why didn't he say it on the field? Why didn't he say it all week long? No, he waits until the meeting. Then, oh, yeah, bullshit. Because somebody was like, hey, you better say that, he called you, a nigger. That way you could try and get away with it. Even then, if I were sitting on the committee, I'd be like, you know what, dude? No. You do not get to act like a damn 5-year-old in fucking kindergarten throwing a tantrum because somebody called you the N-word. You don't get to act like that. You don't get to assault somebody with a helmet because somebody called you a word. I'm tired of the excuses of these weak-ass leftist fucking thinking people that words hold power. I'm so sick of this. Words hold no power whatsoever, not in that environment. There's going to be another video that I'm going to put after this one from another fellow, Brandon Tatum, love that man, that also is going to speak on that.
You're black because of what you did. Don't do that. I hope that eventually it comes to something. It's going to have to come out, Skip.
See, and only a black man would say something. I hope that he did say it so you can be somewhat vindicated. No. I would have said, even if he did say it, you're still not vindicated at all. I wouldn't even if it was said, I would have kept my mouth shut. If I was the player that he said it to, I wouldn't have I would have laughed in his face. I would have said, hey, I'll sack you again. That's all I would have. It's like the next time we play each other, I want to make sure I get you. That's it. I'm not going to take it personally, like, as I said, like I'm a fucking 5-year-old in kindergarten and get upset. It's just ignorant. That word definitely fits in this case. Ignorance.
Can't damage a man. You can't impugn a man's reputation with this word, Skip.
Yep.
This is the word of words.
No, it's not. It's just any of you fucking dumbass blacks and any of you stupid white people that are a bunch of wiggers that think you're fucking black that somehow have been power to a word that didn't mean anything to us in the fucking 70s. Here you are in 2019, 40-something years later, when you didn't even go through the shit we did for that word to at least have had some power. You didn't even go through any of that shit, and somehow it holds power to you? Word of words? Oh my fuck. I am sick. I'm tired of blacks with these stupid excuses. I'm tired of it. It just needs to go away. The word holds, the only reason why the word holds power is because of blacks like that. That's the reason why the word holds power. Morgan Freeman even pointed this out about things holding no power.
There's a lot of words that can be said and people will take offense to it.
That what is your experience in life that word means something to you? What are Shannon's experiences that you cannot just blanket that word for all black people because I'm fucking black and the word doesn't mean a goddamn thing to me. So I'm just curious, where's your experience in life? You can't just blanket that word to all fucking blacks, dumbass, because it sure as hell doesn't represent me. So where does this word of words, how can you make a statement like that? Where in your life does it hold power? Where it affects you? You want to give your own story? You could do that all day. But don't just throw out like it's supposed to mean something to all fucking blacks. No.
Even when I hear it in movies, and I know they got to get it for a historical perspective and for getting it right, you have to say it. Skip, my skin crawls.
Why?
I hear you. Agreed.
I'm from the South, Skip, and I grew up and played football in the 70s and the 80s. I've never been called that. But I can assure you.
So whoa. So he's never been called the word. And yet the word holds power to him. Yet the word, oh my God. I'm done with this particular video right now. Let's move on to the next one because he's just another ignorant piece of shit. That's all it is. Let's get past this stupid commercial thing.
Bring you unforgettable classics.
Oh my God, these commercials.
What?
Get this one out of my list. I hope my video ends up getting to Shannon. I know he's going to turn around and go, well, what is he? I don't know him. His words don't mean nothing to me. I already know he would say that, which would be funny because I'd be like, well, wait a minute. If my words literally should mean something to you, mean nothing to you, and why would a fucking word you've never experienced in your life mean something to you? Oh my God. It's stupid.
You want to.
All right, now this is the other word, and as I said, love Brandon Tatum because he's saying the same damn thing I'm saying over this situation.
Garrett is literally the new Jussie Smollett. This video is brought to you by The Off Tatum Store. The Off Tatum Store, get the link in the description section. Let's get into this. Myles Garrett is now accusing, this is not now today, obviously, but I felt like I had to talk about this because this happened in the last couple of days. I see everybody talking about it. I just need to get it off my chest on how I feel about Myles Garrett now accusing Mason Rudolph of calling him the N-word. Let's start with this. Ladies and gentlemen, the N-word isn't the end-all, be-all. It's a word. It's
funny. He literally says the opposite of what dumbass, ignorant Shannon said. Shannon says it's the word of words. Here you got my boy Brandon Tatum saying it's not the end of, the end all word. It's just a word. See, we're the ones who have the intelligence. We have the willpower. We certainly have the fucking strength because we don't let a stupid word affect us. But yet y'all want to call us Uncle Toms. Yet fuck y'all.
Say word. It only have an amount of power that you give it. Because black folks say the N-word to each other, good, bad, and ugly all the time. And I guess it's just supposed to be a word when a black person said to another black person, as if that word don't hurt you. Hurt your feelings, as it ain't gonna physically hurt you. Unless somebody pull out a you-know-what with it. Anyway, but I guess if a white person say it, it's somehow more hurtful. Or whatever the case may be. I think that's the most ignorant thing on planet Earth. A word is a word.
See? Nigger means ignorant. He just literally said you are the most ignorant person on the earth if a word fucking affects you. Never once in my life. See, Shannon Sharp pointed out that he's never been called that. was called that a lot. Would laugh in their face because it holds no power. And I could see somebody turn around, siding with Shannon, who's never called him that word. You're siding with him instead of somebody like me who has the strength and character to say that word holds no power. Me. Why would you side with me? Somebody who actually is strong, somebody that actually is a leader, someone that actually has the strength of character to go, hey, get yourself up. It's just a word. Let's carry on. Laugh in their face, move on. My mom taught me a long time ago because I didn't even understand. I didn't even know what that word meant. I mean, as I said, my dad was Navy. That word was never, ever brought up because everybody was just Navy blue. So nobody cared. But being out there into the civilian world, things were different. And I'm like, what does that even mean? That story I've told numerous times over when the Klan burned the cross in our yard and painted on the window, get out niggers and all that other stuff. I was like, what does that even mean? My mom said, she goes, don't worry about it. It's just a word. It means nothing. It only holds power when you allow it to have power. It was one of the first lessons I ever learned dealing with racism. And moved on. It was like, okay, mom said so. And then again, my mom went outside with a butcher knife, said, motherfuckers, we ain't going nowhere. Now get that cross off my damn lawn. See, that's how that's strength. My mom was no Uncle Tom kind of character in the sense that she just, was like, I'm going to turn the other cheek. No, my mom went out there with a butcher knife and said, I will kill every single one of you motherfuckers. Get off my damn lawn and take that damn cross with you. So my mom was straight, let her ghetto side come out. There was no Uncle Tom kind of person. The word didn't bother her. Potential violence is what bothered her. And that's when she went out there and said, you're going to deal with somebody who's going to take half of y'all fuckers with me. And they were like, oh, shit, she ain't backing down. That's what you're supposed to do. That's strength. Doing what Shannon said, I would have just beat him up and then like bitched about it like a damn tattletale later. Well, I kicked his ass because he called me the N-word. Bunch of damn babies. Didn't even go through what we went through. And somehow it still holds power to you. Bunch of babies.
Word is a word is a word. If you want to allow it to determine your outcome of your actions, that's on you. You should not get a pass.
No.
Now, I do not believe any ounce of my body don't believe that Myles Garrett was called the N-word by Mason Rudolph.
Nope.
Two major reasons why. Mason has tons of black players on his team. They all seem to be ride or die, and they cool, and people love him. Actually, even stomped Myles Garrett over what he did to Mason Rudolph.
To his quarterback.
Period. So it seems like the black players actually got his back. And out of all the time that I played football, I've never had another player, especially not somebody on another team or a teammate, use a racial slur against me, ever. I was watching Jonathan Vilma, who's obviously a Hall of Fame linebacker. I was watching Jonathan Vilma say the same thing. In all his years of playing professional football, he had never had anybody say a racial slur to him. So that off top seems like a highly unlikely probability that to even happen. So people coming to his defense is a good indication that he's probably not a blatant racist and wouldn't say that in an NFL game.
The fact that it was two black fellow players, that, as I pointed out, that were right there. Why didn't they hear it? Because obviously he would have had to have said it loud enough to be over the screaming fans. He would have needed to say it loud enough for them to hear it. So the two players that were standing right there would have heard it. And why didn't Garrett turn around and say right then and there, how dare you call me? None of that came up. None of it.
It could be possible, but it's highly unlikely. Now, the second thing is that if somebody calls you the N-word and causes you to lose your mind to the point where you bash them over the head with a helmet and risking their lives by doing that to them, and you get into a press conference right after the event, and you know,
not even the press conference, he didn't defend or say anything to that effect on the field. He didn't say it to the other two black players. He didn't say it to the ref who was standing right there. So let's not even get to the press conference. He didn't say it to the people in the moment. Now, he hit somebody over the head with a helmet in the moment. It doesn't say that he called me the N-word in the moment. Bullshit.
you got ejected from the game and you're probably going to get kicked out for the season, and you don't even mention it one time. You don't even say that he said something inappropriate to me. You don't even mention it. And all of a sudden, you want the world to believe that weeks later, somehow it had actually came up and nobody heard him say it, just you. And beyond that, you expect people to say, he calls you the N-word, so it's justified that you lose your temper and potentially in his entire life bashing him over the head with a helmet. It just don't add up, ladies and gentlemen. And the principle of the story and the mission and the reason why I want to make this story, or at least not make this story, but talk about this story, is that I want people to understand that the N-word only has the amount of power that you give it. It's not the justification for Black folks to do whatever you want to do.
Yep. See what I'm talking about? And he's got the followers. I don't think he saw the whole press thing on FS1 that I just saw with Shannon Sharpe. Because I know damn well he would have, if he had seen that, he would have called Shannon Sharpe out as well. Like, do not be the N-word. Do not be an ignorant piece of shit. Sit there and say that a word holds power. How is it? Let me the word of words. Really? As opposed to millions of Jews that were massacred. Blacks weren't massacred. You are not going to compare slavery to what the Jews went through. You're not going to compare slavery, obviously, Injun. There are a whole bunch of racial slurs that are just as powerful to Indians, Native Americans. They went through worse. There's just as many powerful words towards Jewish people, and they went through far worse. So I'm just curious how the fuck Black people didn't go anywhere near what Jewish people did or what the Native Americans did, especially in the time frame, and go, yes, that word means, it's the word of words. If I were Jewish or if I were Native American, I would be all on that shit. I'd be like, you know what, Shannon Sharpe, shut the fuck up. I'm Jewish. My family was massacred except for the one family member that got out of Germany and everything. Friends, family, cousins, everybody was killed off except for the one family member that escaped. And they even have the tattoo. The great grandparent has the freaking tattoo on their arm, from the camp, and they escaped from and everything. Millions, going back to biblical times, millions of Jewish people killed, massacred. And yet somehow you think that word means more than what the racial slur would be towards us when we went through way more? Or Native American, be like, oh, so Injun or savage, that word doesn't mean as much to us. And we went through way worse than what you did. Your word means so much more than anything we ever went through. Again, the N-word definitely pertains to you, Shannon Sharpe, because you were ignorant. You were fucking ignorant, straight up. Black people should not be allowed to talk on this subject. especially no, those type. When I say you people, I definitely mean you people, Shannon Sharp. You people should not be allowed to talk on subjects like this because you do not have the strength of character, the strength of will, strength of heart, to not let a stupid word just water off your damn shoulder. Y'all are just ignorant. I can't even. I am done. I am just beyond done dealing with black people. I grew up with black people like you. The most racism out of dealing with the Klan, skinheads, and everything else with racism. Dennis Sharp said he never dealt with that. I did. Never, and you don't see me acting like a fucking, no. Just did what I did, moved on, be in their face laughing. See, because the word itself held no power. I'd laugh in their face once they realized, oh shit, the word isn't affecting them. And of course, now I'm being smart ass. Now I'm laughing in their face, trying to rile them up. Because now, what happens next? Now they're upset. Now they're mad because, well, that word didn't affect him and he's laughing in my face. So now they get mad and try and attack me. Being in the martial arts since I was 5 years old, I already knew I could whip that person's ass. I knew I could defend myself. My mom always said, don't ever start a fight, because my mom would whip my ass if we ever started a fight, especially over something stupid. But defending ourselves, mom was like, whip their ass. Do everything you can to talk your way out of it. Do everything you can to walk away. If it goes further than that, whip their ass. Let them know, don't ever come back at you again. So yeah, the word held no power. The moment they would try to attack me because the word held no power, then I'd whip their ass. See, that's what you can do, because at that point it is self-defense. To attack a person out of a word, you're the one causing assault. We have freedom of speech in this country. It's just a fucking word.
Just because somebody call you the N-word, I believe the N-word is no different than any other derogatory word. I mean, you can call somebody something that you don't believe is derogatory if they mean it in a hateful and evil manner. That should still, cause you to be upset. But that don't mean you have to.
See, here's the thing. When it comes, back in junior high school, we used to say, because we weren't allowed to curse, obviously, but we used to say, of course, the words that meant the word, but it wasn't the word, like darn, dang, we'd get in trouble for it. And it's like, whoa, that's not the actual word. No, we didn't say the actual 4-letter word. So how are we getting in trouble? Or we would say, forget you. And, try, because we never actually got in trouble. But, we would say, forget you. And the teacher, I'm going to take you to the principal. I didn't say the F word. Oh, but I knew what you meant. See, so now it doesn't even matter what the word is now. Now it's based on intent. So what we started doing is making up words. The word cowabunga existed back then, but we ended up adding the word Buddha chunk to it. And that was a made up word. We, amongst our friends, were like, you know what? If they're going to try and say that we can't say words that actually aren't bad words because of the intent behind it, we would pick a word of the day. It was like either a made up word or a genuine word. It would be our new curse word for that day. One day it was Jupiter. And it took like half the day before a teacher realized what we were doing and tried to get us in trouble. And it was like, are you seriously thinking that you're going to suspend us over saying the word Jupiter? Well, because of what y'all are meaning it to be. It was like, we don't run our country based on that. It's freedom of speech. We don't run our country based on a meaning a real word because we're changing. You can't do that. So in between class time, I called the superintendent. I was on first name basis with the superintendent. Called his office, got him, and said, yeah, they're trying to get us an in-school suspension over saying the word Jupiter because of intent. And I told him, because I knew, as I said, I grew up around famous people. I knew all the news people, because of my mom, my dad, I had pull. So I told the superintendent, if this goes forward, I will be calling Wavy TV 10, getting a hold of, the anchor person who I knew, and I will be reporting this. You're basically starting to suspend students. Schools are going to start suspending students for words that are legitimate words, aren't curse words, in a country that has freedom of speech. Of course, the subject was dropped immediately. I was an activist. See, that's Colin Kaepernick, as I call you. That's how you do activism. Not acting like a damn baby, but doing things within their game. You play their game. That's how you get things done. I've gotten police suspended. I've gotten officers fired back when I was a teenager. Know how? You play their game. You don't do stupid shit. You don't go overboard. No, you understand the rules of the game. This was me as a teenager. This was me as a kid. And you're telling me as a fucking kid, 13, 14 years old, smarter than all of you adults? Well, obviously I am, but that's beside the point. If I could make back in the freaking late 70s, early 80s, make the officers dance to my tune. If I could do that as a fucking kid, then what the hell are you doing? Obviously, y'all don't have the intelligence to play the game. I've had friends tell me I should run for politics. And this is way before Donald Trump was going to run for president, years ago. And I said back then, people don't want me. People don't want me to run for politics because they don't want to deal with somebody who's going to be straight in their face. My mom was asked to run for politics back then. She said the same thing. Y'all don't want me. Y'all can't handle the shit I got to say. I'm not going to filter as I've told people in many of my videos on Facebook and here. Y'all don't like Donald Trump? My mom was 1,000 times worse than Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump's an asshole. He speaks his mind. Man, y'all, if y'all are offended by Donald Trump, woo, y'all really would have never liked my mother. I'm just like her. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. If you're an adult, I'm going to talk to you like it's my time to go and to not sit here and waste time decoding things and changing words and changing meanings to make it to where I may not offend you. No, I'm going to say what the fuck I got to say to your face. I can move on, get shit done, and go about my business. I don't have the time. I can't stand, unless it is actually a place of cruising. No, I don't like people cruising in the fast lane. I don't like people cruising on the highway from point A to point B and get off the damn road. I'm that way on the road. I'm that way in conversation. I'm that way in life. Get to the fucking point. I get pissed at my friends, especially one particular friend, all the damn time because she takes forever to say something. She takes forever she tries to tell a story and I'm sitting there. We've all done it. We're all like, get to the point. What the fuck? Get to the point. And it's like, oh, you're just, well, fine. And we'll just walk away. No, Like, damn, I don't have all of this time sitting you telling this long, drawn-out fucking story. You could have said in 2 words all the shit you just said in like 20 words. Why the fuck are you? You're not a storyteller. Fuck on. But as I said, I'm that way when it deals with even driving. If I know I'm going from point A to point B and I see some person just on the road leisurely fucking driving, it's like, what the hell are you doing? You not want to get to your destination? Where the fuck are you going? Get out of my damn way. But anyway, let's finish this video.
Act out on it. It doesn't.
Back.
You're supposed to do whatever you want to do just because somebody called you the N-word. I believe the N-word is no different than any other derogatory word. I mean, you could call somebody something that you don't believe is derogatory if they mean it in a hateful and evil manner. That should still, cause you to be upset. But that don't mean you have to act out on it. It does not mean that. And it makes me mad that some of these people that have the same skin color that I have.
And black people. I love Brandon Tatum. There are things that he does that I do. Scripts out what he's gonna say, and then and I've seen the cuts. So he edits his videos. I don't. I'm gonna say, as I said, I am my mother's son. I'm gonna say what the fuck I got to say. I don't give a damn about your feelings. Fuck about offending you. Just be an adult and don't lie about that shit. Just fucking move on.
They feel like that is justification to do whatever you want to do, to act a fool, to lose composure, and people are going to support you.
Act like a child.
It's the gruesome, almighty N-word. That's just not the case, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the case, and it should not be the case. And we need to stop rolling with that. We need to stop justifying that stuff. If a man calls you the N-word, you better brush it off. Brush it off. You can't hit the man in the head with a helmet. Because what if it would have become fatal?
Yeah, you're lucky you hit him with the padding. If you had hit him with the crown of the helmet, you should have been arrested anyway. It's still assault. I don't even understand why this fucker wasn't even arrested. Period. Don't understand that. I don't get it. Somebody said that it's in the heat of the moment in the game. So that excuses an assault? What the? Oh my God, what is going on in this world? No, we need shit like that. Y'all NFL, y'all want to enforce when it deals with Clowney or any of these other assholes that assault people, start charging them with fucking assault. Have them being arrested on goddamn camera in the fucking tunnels. That would put a stop. These fucking people acting like a bunch of thugs. That will put not a stop to it, because obviously you're going to have still dumbasses, but it will deter a lot more ignorant dumbasses from being stupid. You get paid millions of fucking dollars to play a damn sport, acting like a bunch.
Him to go on and meet Jesus. That's not justification. Is not reasonable, not realistic. Especially when you go and look at it, and I guarantee you that Myles Garrett and all other players in the locker room say the N-word 455 times in one practice. Yep. And of course, I'm exaggerating the number. I guarantee you they're using it a lot. They use it a lot. And it don't affect you. And I guarantee you when he probably had some fights in practice, he threw the N-word at somebody in a derogatory manner, another black person. Maybe even said it to a white person. But all of a sudden, the white man said to you, somehow you lose your temper. Don't do that, man. Don't be like that guy. And I don't know him, and I'm not trying to be too mean to him, but once he did this, it kind of made me feel like, you know what?
Hold on. All right, there we go.
I can't support people like that. You owned up to it. I appreciate that. That was a good man to do that. And you come back and try to save face, you don't get suspended for a very, very long time. Anyway, man, this video ain't gonna be that long. I don't need to say too much. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, bookmark the channel, and check your spam to make sure that it's not collecting the spam when I make videos. This is the Dr. Tatum, where you get all your cool stuff. Y'all know what it is.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Make America great, baby. Yeah, I love that. Put the hat on. Make America great. Oh, same with mine. Hit the like, hit the share, do what you got to do. Try to get it out there. Just definitely realizing there aren't from the people I follow, there really are not that I have seen, libertarian or conservatives my age who have gone through way more than any of these younger people. You know, we need more of my opinion, my generation that went through a hell of a lot more than these younger people. As I said, it's still baffling my mind that Shannon Sharpe even admitted that that word's never been directed at him. He doesn't know what it feels like. He's acting all upset and passionate like it holds power to him, even though it's never been directed at him. That's like somebody identify with somebody who's been raped. You've never gone through it. You've never gone through it, so you don't know. You can be there for your friend or your relative or whoever went through it. But unless you went through it, you cannot say you know what it's like. You can't. I can, because I've been through it. So again, the things I speak about, the things I talk about, these are things I have personally lived. But we're going to end this video, then I'm going to get to my next one that deals with, you know, with man and the whole women bullshit and the Charlie's Angels stupid whatever and whatever fig. I was about to say what I wanted to say. But anyway, let's get to the next one.